I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and step into a scene that is completely hidden from the physical senses of this world. Imagine a vast, silent space where time itself seems to stop. In this space, there is a giant, majestic tree, older than the earth, older than the stars. The branches of this tree stretch out into the infinite realms of the unseen world. And hanging from these branches are countless leaves, millions upon millions of them, moving gently in a spiritual breeze. Every single leaf represents a human soul. Every single leaf has a name written upon it. Your name, my name, the name of your child, the name of your parents, and the names of billions of people walking on the face of this planet right now. As you stand beneath this tree, you notice that the unseen world is in a state of absolute heavy silence. The angels are standing in deep awe, looking up at the branches. Suddenly, a decree descends from the highest heavens, from the throne of the Creator of all existence. A command is given. The spiritual breeze shifts into a deliberate motion, and a single leaf detaches itself from a branch. It begins to flutter down through the dark air, spinning slowly, gracefully, yet with absolute certainty. The angels watch it fall. They know exactly what that falling leaf means. It means that for a specific soul somewhere on earth, the clock has officially run out. Their time in this temporary world is finished. Their book is about to be sealed. Their transition into the eternal reality has just begun. Now, look down at your own physical body. Look at your chest rising and falling with every single breath you take. Have you ever stopped to realize that you do not own the breath inside your lungs? Have you ever considered that the very air you are inhaling right now is a borrowed asset, and the one who lent it to you has already decreed the exact day, the exact hour, and the exact millisecond when he will demand it back? We walk on this earth with so much pride, so much confidence, and so many long-term plans. We stress over our finances, we lose our sleep over our social status, we argue over petty arguments, and we live our lives as if death is a distant fairy tale that only happens to other people. But the terrifying, beautiful reality is this: your leaf could be the very next one to fall from the tree. You could be sitting in your room, driving your car, or scrolling through your phone, completely unaware that the unseen world has already initiated your final countdown. Welcome, my beloved brothers and sisters, to the ultimate realization of the human condition. Today we are going to look straight through the illusions of who told you that the sun will rise for your eyes again. The Almighty describes this profound human delusion in the Holy Quran with words that pierce straight through the human ego. He states that no soul knows what it will earn tomorrow, and no soul knows in what land it will die. Indeed, Allah is knowing and acquainted. Think about that expression, no soul knows. The Almighty is reminding us of our absolute, complete vulnerability. You can have the best insurance policy, the biggest bank account, the healthiest body, and the most powerful status in society. But when the decree of the unseen world is signed, not a single human asset can protect you for even a microsecond. We spend our entire lives sleepwalking through reality. We focus entirely on the vessel, our physical body, our clothing, our cars, our homes, and we completely starve. He told us that when a true believer is reaching the end of their worldly journey and is about to step into the next life, a magnificent event takes place in the unseen world. Angels with radiant faces, shining as bright as the midday sun, descend from the highest heavens. They bring with them a shroud from paradise and a beautiful fragrance from the gardens of eternity. They sit around the person, stretching as far as the physical eye can see, creating a massive glowing sanctuary of peace around their bed. Then the angel of death arrives. He sits gently by the head of the believer, and he speaks to the soul with an ocean of tenderness and love. He says, "O pure soul, come out to the forgiveness of your Lord and his absolute pleasure." Look at the beauty of that conversation. The body might be struggling physically, the doctors might be rushing around, the family might be weeping, but the soul of the believer is hearing a divine invitation of welcome. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explained that the pure soul flows out of the body as smoothly and effortlessly as a single drop of water trickles out from the spout of a water skin. The angels instantly catch it, wrap it in the shroud of paradise, and begin their ascension back to the heavens. And as they pass through the spiritual realms, the fragrance of that soul is so breathtaking that every angel they pass asks, "Who is this pure, beautiful spirit?" And the angels reply with the most beautiful names that person was called by in the worldly life, saying, "This is the son of so-and-so," or "This is the daughter of so-and-so," until they reach the highest heavens, where their name is written in the eternal book of the righteous. But what happens to the soul that lived its life in absolute negligence? The soul that looked at the commands of its creator and shrugged its shoulders? The soul that chose its desires over its destiny? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us that when a negligent, corrupt soul reaches its final moments, a completely different scene manifests in the unseen world. Angels with dark, stern faces descend from the heavens, carrying a harsh, coarse cloth made of rough material. They surround the person with an atmosphere of heavy pressure. Then the angel of death arrives, and he calls out to the soul with a voice of absolute severity. He says, "O foul soul, come out to the anger of your Lord and his displeasure." The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explained that upon hearing these terrifying words, the soul becomes filled with absolute panic. It tries to hide, scattering itself throughout the muscles, the veins, and the cells of the physical body. Every word you speak, every glance you take, every prayer you stand for, and every temptation you walk away from out of love for your Creator is a thread that weaves your eternal shroud. Imagine a soul who once held the keys to worldly success, surrounded by wealth, property, and a thriving circle of support. Then, in what seems like a sudden flash, a massive, crushing cascade of trials hits their life. They lose their livelihood overnight, their assets are completely destroyed, their deepest foundations break. And to top it all off, they are struck with an exhausting, painful, and deeply debilitating trial that leaves them physically and emotionally drained. The difficulty is so severe and prolonged that the people around them become uncomfortable, step away, and completely distance themselves. For many long, agonizing years, this soul lives in total isolation on the outskirts of comfort. Every single human door of remedy, wealth, and social support is entirely, completely slammed shut. There is no expert on earth who can fix the damage, no wealth that can instantly buy back peace, and no friend who can step into the absolute darkness to ease the loneliness. They are left entirely alone in the universe with their Creator. But does their tongue fill with complaints? Do they lose their unshakable faith? No. They sit in that total isolation, turn their heart completely toward the heavens, and present their brokenness with absolute humility, calling out to the Master of Fates that distress has touched them, and that He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. Look at the absolute perfection of this trust. They don't demand a specific timeline. They simply present their weakness to the all-powerful. And because every single human means is thoroughly dead and buried, look at how the heavenly turnaround arrives. The Almighty does not send a worldly army or a visible shortcut. From the driest, most barren ground of their life, a miraculous spring of relief begins to gush out. The divine command shifts the entire reality, and instantly, in the blink of an eye, the long-standing illness of grief is erased from their soul, their strength is fully restored, and the Almighty blesses them with twice the peace, twice the abundance, and a life far greater and more beautiful than anything they had lost. Let us speak to those who are currently struggling, those who feel weighed down by the heavy mistakes of their past, those who are listening to my voice right now and thinking, it is too late for me to change. My beloved friend, listen closely to the boundless, ocean-like mercy of your Creator. The Almighty describes the qualities of those who earn His ultimate forgiveness and paradise in a verse that should wash away every ounce of despair from your spirit. He says in the Holy Quran, and those who, when they commit an immorality or wrong themselves, remember Allah and seek forgiveness for their sins, and who can forgive sins except Allah, and who do not persist in what they have done while they know. Those, their reward is forgiveness from their Lord and gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide eternally. Look at the profound mercy embedded in these divine words. The Almighty does not demand absolute perfection from you. He does not say that this high destiny is only reserved for those who have never sinned, never stumbled, or never made a mess of their lives. He says it is for those who, when they realize they have wronged themselves, they stop. They turn around in the dark, they remember Him, and they ask for a way out. Imagine the unmatched beauty of that silent conversation. You are standing in your room in the deep hours of the night, whispering your pain, your regrets, your secrets, and your tears to the one who already knows them completely, yet has kept them hidden from the world out of pure love and protection for you. You tell Him, my Lord, I have made an absolute mess of my life. I have chosen the wrong path so many times. I have wasted my years. But tonight I am stepping out of the matrix of this worldly life, and I am choosing you. And in that very microsecond, the entire trajectory of your existence shifts. The old destiny of spiritual ruin is completely deleted from the record, and a new destiny of light, clarity, and eternal peace is written in its place. Imagine an entire assembly of sincere believers, striving to cross a harsh. The crowd completely panics, loses its composure, and cries out in absolute terror, saying, "Indeed, we are caught, we are caught." But the leader standing at the front possesses an unshakable, profoundly deep, and diamond-hard connection with the Creator. He does not allow his physical eyes to deceive his spiritual heart. He does not look at the physical trap of the water or the army. He looks directly through the radiant lens of absolute faith. He stands tall and unwavering before the roaring waves, faces his terrified, screaming people, and utters words that will echo as a monument of faith until the end of human time. He says, "No, indeed, with me is my Lord. He will guide me." And what happened in that exact maximum moment of pressure? The Almighty does not just send a standard, predictable solution. A simple command strikes the surface of the water, and the massive sea splits wide open into 12 completely dry, solid paths, with walls of water standing like towering mountains on either side, creating a miraculous, beautiful highway of absolute escape for the believers, while completely closing back up and drowning the entire arrogant, opposing army in a single sweep. The very body of water that looked like it was going to be their graveyard became the magnificent highway to their absolute freedom and victory. My beloved brothers and sisters, time is a relentless river that flows in only one direction. Every single second that ticks away on your clock is a second you will never see again until you stand before the judgment seat. The night is passing. The shadows of this temporary world are beginning to retreat. The twilight of this worldly life will very soon give way to the bright, unyielding dawn of the next world. Whatever massive sea you are currently standing in front of today, whatever mountain of debt, sickness, loneliness, or depression is chasing you down in the dark, I want you to anchor this message deep into the DNA of your soul. Do not run away from your prayer mat. Do not allow your anxiety to write the conclusion of your story. The Almighty did not bring you this far to abandon you. If you are experiencing these divine signs in your life right now, if you feel that unexplainable internal stillness deep inside your chest, if human doors are aggressively slamming shut in your face, if your tongue is spontaneously finding the words of gratitude in the middle of your pain, and if the pressure of your trial has reached an absolute maximum peak where you feel like you are about to break, then I want you to lift your head up high. Take a deep, beautiful, conscious breath. Wipe the tears completely away from your face. Know with absolute, unshakable certainty that your Lord has not forgotten you, that He has not left your side for a single millisecond, and that He never, ever burdens a soul beyond what it can uniquely bear. Your night has reached its absolute darkest, coldest, and thickest point, which means the sun is currently preparing its rays to rise over your life. Do not trade your eternal majesty for a few more minutes of temporary comfort. Do not let the heavy darkness of negligence swallow the brilliant light of your future. Tonight, when the world goes completely quiet, remember that you are holding the pen to your own book. The Almighty has given you the choice, the ultimate choice. Will you choose the path of slumber, or will you choose the path of awakening? Will you stay bound by the chains of your habits, your doubts, and your past, or will you stand up on your prayer mat, face the Creator of the universe, and claim your true high destiny? Make the right choice before your leaf falls from the tree. Make the choice for yourself, for your soul, and for your eternity. Stand firm, keep your faith burning bright, and watch how beautifully, how majestically, and how perfectly the Almighty is about to execute your turnaround. May the Almighty purify our hearts, shatter our spiritual chains, guide our daily steps, and write for every single one of us a destiny filled with His ultimate love, His infinite light, and His eternal paradise. Until we meet again in the next reminder, may the peace, mercy, and blessings of the Almighty be upon all of you.